the NYG Blue Zone. This is your host, Stella, and here with me is my co-host, my dad.
What's up, everybody? Good to see you. Good to be here. Time to talk some New York Football Giants. Draft offseason news with Stella-Rose. And we got a few things to cover, as we
Yeah,
haven't talked for a little while since some of the acquisitions with the free agency and the quarterbacks and just a lot going on. So, Stella, how you been?
good. You?
I've been doing really well, really well. I'm feeling pretty good about some of the players that we picked up during the off season. But first, why don't we tell our listeners where to find us and what we would like them to do, Stella?
Oh, so first, make sure you hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, and turn on that notification bell so you don't miss anything we upload.
That's right, everybody. And if you're one of those people who like to just listen, you can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, anywhere where you listen to your favorite podcasts. And don't forget, like Stella said, to look for us on YouTube and like and subscribe.
I think
Also, we're on TikTok too.
I was about to say that.
Yeah, that's right. We're on TikTok too. As long as they don't ban TikTok, because they're talking about that now. So let's hope they don't. But anyway,
Yeah,
got a lot of different players. I know that you have been real critical of Tay Banks. So the Giants picked up Paulson Adebo. They picked up Javon Holland, two very talented players that should do well to help us in the Giants secondary. And now that the Giants have some really good talent back there, Stella, do you think, I mean, you know, and you told our listeners the last time that we met that you wanted the Giants to get rid of Tay Banks, not the coach, but you said they got rid of the coach and decided to keep Tay Banks. Do you think with these
sadly.
new additions that Tay Banks is going to be moved out of his starting role? Or how do you feel about bringing in these new cornerbacks?
Pretty good, but I wish we could get enough to replace Tay Banks, like, really badly.
Well, you know, the draft is coming up, and we're going to talk about the quarterbacks in a minute that may be available and some of the other talent that might be available. But yeah, there will definitely be some opportunities. Travis Hunter, they're talking about. Will Johnson, they're talking about. So we'll see. But in addition to signing these two pieces in a secondary, the Giants did some work to make sure that they kept some continuity on the offensive line. They re signed some players, they got some additions on the defensive line. They really haven't done much, I think, that's notable in terms of the linebacker position. I think they're happy with Brian Burns, Kayvon Thibodeau. But Stella, Azeez Ojulari, they let him go. Do you know where he went?
No. Wait, they let Azeez Ojulari go?
Yeah.
Wait, he was actually really good when he was covering for, I don't remember what player.
He did a great job filling in for Kayvon Thibodeau. But the problem with Azeez Ojulari is he could never stay healthy. But whenever he was healthy, he just racked up the sacks. And unfortunately for who usually takes our players from us, Stella?
The Eagles?
The Eagles. He went to the Philadelphia Eagles. Can you believe it?
Oh, come on. Wait, was he a player when Saquon Barkley was playing?
Yeah, he was here with Saquon. I mean, they played on opposite sides of the ball, but two really good players that the Eagles just plucked right away from the Giants. And honestly, I think for what the Eagles paid Azeez Ojulari, the Giants probably should have kept him. But another good player went to the crappy Eagles, so whatever. But two quarterbacks, well, let's talk about all three. The Giants went from having no quarterbacks on a roster to having three quarterbacks on a roster. They got Tommy DeVito, who signed to pretty much a minimal deal. Tommy DeVito, local talent. Everybody kind of likes the guy, Mr. Personality, but in my opinion, he's just not very good. And then they signed
It's
Jameis
okay.
Winston. You think he's okay?
Yeah, Jameis Winston, though, I think is good.
Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston is funny. What'd you
Yeah.
think about some of those videos we watched with him?
I mean, I don't think some of them were like a little funny, but not too funny to me because I'm a kid and I don't think I understand everything he was saying. But
Right.
some of them were funny.
Yeah. Well, the thing about Jameis Winston is he was a former number one overall draft pick for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and he came into the league and he just threw for a ton of yards. I think in his first 2 years as a professional, he had almost 9,500 passing yards, which is absurd. But he also throws a lot of interceptions. Just he puts the ball in high risk situations, or at least he's been known to do that. And some of those times it resulted in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers losing the game. And then he went to
Yeah.
different teams and he played okay, but I like him as a backup quarterback, not as my starting quarterback. And then, you know who else they signed?
Russell Wilson?
Russell Wilson. What are your thoughts about Russell Wilson?
I mean, when I went to the Steelers game, my mom really said he was like a really good player. So I don't really know. I wasn't paying attention to Russell Wilson so much.
Yeah, you were paying
I,
attention to Dexter Lawrence sacking him.
yeah, and I was just
Malik
paying attention
Neighbors.
to mostly the Giants, but
Hmm.
I think Russell Wilson is pretty good.
Yeah, well, you know what they're saying about him. He's still one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL to throw the deep ball. And you know what that means.
He throws it far.
And who can benefit from that?
Malik Neighbors.
Leak. Yeah, hopefully Leak will have some good opportunities. And, you know, they re signed Darius Slayton too. And he's a speedster. So maybe Darius Slayton will have some more opportunities with Russell Wilson throwing the deep ball also. We'll see. So we'll see what happens with that. I mean, I think overall I'm happy with who the Giants brought on board. I don't know, I don't feel as discouraged. I think that we're going to have some exciting games, but I don't know. It definitely brings about some questions for the upcoming draft, right? So we know the Tennessee Titans are picking number one, and it
Before
looks
we
like.
get into the draft,
Go ahead.
just a quick reminder again, make sure you hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, and click the notification bell so you get notified every time we upload a video.
That's right, everybody. And comment whenever you feel like you got something to contribute. We love to hear what
Yes.
you have to say.
Yes.
All right, so the Titans.
Yeah,
I don't
he
know,
said
Stella.
they're taking Cam Ward, so
I
I'm a little bummed about.
You're bummed. I'm bummed. I really wanted the Giants to get Cam Ward. I know that you just fell in love with the guy. I mean, we did a lot of video breakdowns of him. We talked often about how he's that player that you can't coach that kind of talent. He's just that good. And
I know.
unfortunately, it looks like Tennessee fell in love with him the same way that we did. What to do, what to do. And then who's next? Cleveland, the Browns. And everybody's saying that they're probably going to take Abdul Carter.
I know, they're taking all the good players. If we haven't have won that one game, we would
The
have
Colts.
probably got Cam Ward. And we
They
were talking our kitchen like not that long ago actually. And tell them what you said about
the
that
Colts game.
yeah, the one game that
Drew Lock.
yeah.
Drew Lock has played or had played up until that point, not like a first string quarterback, not like a second string quarterback backup, not even like a practice squad quarterback. He played like he was the water boy on a high school football team. And
Uh,
then he plays against the Colts and looks like he's all world. Throws 4 touchdowns, I think, ran 4 touchdowns. It was just absurd, the performance he had. And you were saying you were mad at the Colts.
yeah, I think they needed to play better. Just for that,
offensively and
just for that one
defensively.
game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because effectively winning that game took us from the number one pick to the number three pick.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
and that meant
the Titans are the first pick or second.
the Titans are the first, the Browns are the second, and it looks like the Browns are likely going to be picking. At least this is what everybody's saying. Anything can happen, Stella. We don't know. So the Titans could get up there and have everybody thinking that we are so in love with Cam Ward. I personally think they're going to take Cam Ward. I think that he is an extremely talented quarterback that you cannot pass up on. And like you and I have said consistently, and watching the film, doing our breakdowns, that this guy, he has the type of talent that, first of all, he has raw talent that can't be coached, but then he's still very coachable too. You can
Yes.
put him in positions where you can exploit his best features of his game and ensure that you have some high value plays that they're running for that team. The only thing about Tennessee, I'll say to you though, Stella, is the organization itself, I am not attracted to. I think they're dysfunctional. They have a high turnover of their coaching and their front office personnel. And that tells me that they're not a very stable organization. You were asking me, what did you ask me in the kitchen about whether or not he would want to go there or something?
Oh, I said, if like, cause the one time, like probably last year, you were talking about that this one player was like, no, I don't want to go to you guys, so I'm just gonna play bad. I'm not gonna do anything. So he like refused to do anything, and I said, maybe Cam Ward will do that for the Titans.
Yeah, I mean, so it's probably not a good look for the player, but people have short memories too, right? I mean, Eli Manning did that when it was clear, common knowledge, that the San Diego Chargers were going to draft him number one overall. He was like, I'm not playing there. I don't want to play there. I'm not going to play there. I'm not interested in being a San Diego Charger. Where I really want to play is for the New York Football Giants. And they figured it out. The Giants had to give up some draft capital. They had to give up a whole lot to make a trade with San Diego to acquire Eli Manning, but they did it. And it worked out well for the Giants. It worked out
Yeah.
well for the San Diego Chargers also. The Chargers ended up getting Phillip Rivers. The Giants ended up with Eli Manning. And the Giants got two Super Bowls out of that transaction where even though the Chargers didn't win any Super Bowls, they had some really productive years with Phillip Rivers. So I don't know that Cam Ward would do something like that, Stella, because he appears to really be okay with the Tennessee Titans, at least to this point. But we'll see what happens. I don't know.
Yeah.
I know that you really would like Cam Ward to be in that New York Giants blue, looking polished and ready to win some games, though.
I know. It would have
Yeah,
been amazing if he was, and I started crying about it when we were talking about it downstairs.
I know. I know. But, listen, the Cleveland Browns are reportedly looking really heavily at Abdul Carter, which is another incredible talent. I know that they've been talking about he's got some issues with his foot, but I don't know how big a deal that is. You can't pass up on Abdul Carter. And I think that they're
Yeah.
thinking about getting him. And what that does is that opens up an opportunity for us to look at Shador Sanders. That was our
You
1B.
we even looked it up and they said they were getting Abdul Carter.
Yeah, I mean, that's what a lot of people are saying. Abdul Carter's going to the Browns. But again, the Browns might say, we don't want Abdul Carter. We have our eyes on Shador Sanders.
Maybe,
They may
yeah.
say
But
we want Abdul Carter because we really have our eyes of drafting Jalen Milrow in the second round. We don't know. They may even trade down from that number two pick to get somebody else. We really don't know. But let's say they take Abdul Carter, where a lot of people are thinking they're going to go. And
football is
we
so
have,
weird.
I
Sorry.
know,
It's just like you need to play good, but if you play good, you're in the last of the draft pick. And then you get bad players. Well, okay players.
Yeah,
And
you
then
don't get the
there's
best
like,
of the best.
there's so many things that can foul you and everything. Anyways, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, that's fine. You're right. I mean, that's the name of the game, right? The better you play, the lower you fall in the draft, and you have to take the players that nobody else wanted, right? That doesn't mean they're not good players. It just means other teams picked other players instead of them. So, but if we're sitting there at 3, Abdul
Yeah.
Carter's gone, Cam Ward is gone, and you got Shador Sanders, you got Mason Graham, or you have Travis Hunter. Who do you want to take? I
I
mean,
would
the Giants already
say
have 3 quarterbacks. Should they take Shador or should they take Travis Hunter or
I would
maybe
say
Mason Graham?
Shador, but Travis Hunter too.
Well, you can only take one.
Well, then Shador.
So you think the Giants should
But
take Shador?
I'm saying if we don't get Shador, then definitely Travis Hunter.
Okay. Why definitely Travis Hunter and not Mason Graham?
Because I've seen a lot more clips on Travis Hunter, and I've seen none on Mason Graham. I don't even know who he is. I first heard his name about 20 minutes ago, so
Well, let
I
me
don't
tell you.
even know if he can walk, but he probably can't because he's in football, but still.
Not only can he walk, he can destroy other people's abilities to walk. So he is really good. He is just like a Dexter Lawrence, but at the collegiate level. And if you have Mason Graham playing next to Dexter Lawrence and both of those guys bracketed in with Brian Burns and Kayvon Thibodeau, I think that's a really good place to start on your defensive front. But I like your thinking. Shador Sanders, right? We got 3 quarterbacks. So Russell Wilson's probably going to start, even though they didn't pay him a lot of money. They gave him a prove it deal. He's probably going to start. I can see the Giants drafting Shador Sanders because they're thinking about their franchise quarterback long term, right? So start Russell Wilson, and then in the middle of the year, maybe bring in Shador Sanders. Let him learn from watching Russell Wilson and then bring him in. What would you think about that strategy?
Good.
I think that sounds good too. But do you want Brian Daboll calling the plays or you want Mike Kafka calling the plays?
Brian Daboll.
Okay. All right. I think Brian Daboll's a good play caller, but I liked him better when he was the head coach and he had Mike Kafka calling plays. But last year was such a bad year for New York Giants fans that I don't know that he put out his best work. I don't know that the players put out their best work, but I'm not mad at that. Brian Daboll could call the plays. But then, let's say, like you said, if we can't get Shador, you say Travis Hunter.
Yes, 100% Travis Hunter, because I have no clue who the other person is. So yes, Travis Hunter.
So Travis Hunter, he's like a Swiss Army knife, right? He can play offense and defense. He can play as a corner and challenge Tay Banks for his role, or he can play wide receiver and pair him up with Malik Neighbors, Darius Slayton, Wandale Robinson, Jalen Hyatt, and those are a whole lot of options at the wide receiver position.
Yeah,
In fact, it's
that
it's
is.
almost like getting 2 players by taking Travis Hunter.
He's that good.
He's a multi-purpose player. He
Okay,
plays
now
2 roles and plays them well.
now I'm kind of stuck between Travis Hunter and Shador Sanders.
Mm.
I don't know who
It's
I
a
want
good
now.
problem to have, Stella, because both of them are quality talent. But here's the thing I'm going to say. I would not be disappointed if the Giants decided to take Travis Hunter. I would not.
I
But I
wouldn't
also
either.
think that the Giants are in a very good position to strengthen their quarterback room. They've already got a short term solution by signing Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston. They can have Shador Sanders come in. They can ride him on the bench for an entire year if they wanted to before they bring him in. They could bring him in next year if they wanted to. And he can sit there and learn and not be forced into a high pressure situation where he feels like he has to perform just starting in the National Football League. He doesn't have to do that. So I think drafting Shedeur Sanders, if he's there, gives the Giants a great opportunity to really groom and mold him into the quarterback that he wants to be. At the same
Yeah.
time, bring in Travis Hunter in, you kind of know what you get in just a high quality athlete who can deliver in two different areas on the field. And I know you don't know much about Mason Graham, but Mason Graham is a force, Stella. I may be saying as a number 3 pick, and some people would say that's too high to pick Mason Graham. I don't care if people think it's too high to pick Mason Graham. That guy is a monster on the line. I've watched so many tapes of Dexter Lawrence just destroying the interior of offensive lines and forcing pressure up the middle and quarterbacks into making bad decisions. Can you imagine 2 players like that coming up the middle and just coming with veracity and ferocious nature against the opposing quarterback, and then they're trying to escape on the outsides, and you got Kayvon Thibodeau and Brian Burns applying pressure from there? Do you know how many sacks we could end up getting? Oh, my God.
We'd probably get almost 1,000. Okay, no, I'm just being sarcastic. But seriously, like, we'd probably be able to get a lot.
A lot of sacks. And then, like, every time Dexter Lawrence left the lineup to take a break, get a breather, whatever the case may be, other teams took advantage of that, knowing that he wasn't there to clog up the middle and to put pressure, and we looked like a different team without him on the field. So we got a lot of options at that pick, that position, so we'll see what happens. But anyway, the draft is coming up really soon. What about Aaron Rodgers? Do you know what's happening there? The Pittsburgh Steelers?
They will. You told me that they want him, but no other team wants him, and only the Steelers do. But he's making them wait.
Isn't that crazy? Isn't that
I just
absolutely
think
insane?
For football, he's old and he needs to go. Now
Well,
that I
the only
understand,
option he has is sign with the Steelers or retire. Those are his 2 choices. I don't understand why he's making them wait. And more
I don't
importantly,
too.
I don't
I hope
understand why
he.
the Steelers are going through that.
I hope he just retires. But
Yeah.
is there any other quarterbacks that the Steelers could get?
The only other options available to them are really bad options unless they look for another quarterback in the draft. I mean, they bought Mason Rudolph back as their backup quarterback. They got rid of Justin Fields. He went to the Jets. Russell Wilson came to the Giants. They have Mason Graham on their roster. I don't even know if they have another quarterback on their roster.
It's just if you get Aaron Rodgers, then he's probably gonna they're probably gonna have to tell him you gotta leave the NFL because of his age. Well, was that rude?
Well, I mean, it's kind of ageism, but he's getting up there, honey.
What's
But
ageism? What?
ageism is when you make fun of somebody because of their age, because they're getting older, or they don't get
I'm
opportunities.
just saying that because he's older for football.
He
I
is.
don't know. He should have left 5 years ago.
In football years, he's especially at the quarterback position, he's pretty old, but Joe Flacco is still out there, so Joe Flacco might be an option for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I don't really know who else is available and worth signing, but Joe Flacco is 40 years old also, and that's really old for football. But the Steelers may be saying to themselves that we are already targeting a player in the draft. And if they're targeting somebody in the draft, they really don't feel the same type of pressure that we think they should be feeling as fans to get Aaron Rodgers on their roster. And Aaron Rodgers, to me, is a headache. What he's making them go through right now, I wouldn't go through that. There's no way I'd have my entire franchise hanging in the balance waiting for Aaron Rodgers to decide what he's going to do. I wouldn't do it, but I'm not front office personnel. I am not a general manager. I am not a scout. I'm not a person who's in a position to do the hiring, firing, signing of any players, but I would not go through that. So whatever.
By the way, guys, comment down below, what do you think Aaron Rodgers is going to do? And who do you want the Giants to draft if you're a Giants fan? Or if you're not.
Yeah, whatever you think, Giants fan, not a Giants fan, even if you don't like the Giants at all, tell us who you think we should draft. Comment that below.
Yes.
So let's move on to our 2-minute drill. I got a question for you. If you had a chance or a choice, I don't know which games we're going to go to this year, but a lot of our games are going to be tough ones. So if you had to choose between going to NFC East battle between the Giants, Eagles, Commanders, or the Cowboys, which game do you want to see us play live and why?
The Eagles, because I hate them. And also, if we win, there's these annoying kids on my bus that every time the Eagles win against the Giants, they're like, haha, guess what, Stella? The Eagles won. So if the Giants win, then I can go up to them and be like, haha, the Giants won.
So it'll be like redemption and an opportunity for redemption for you, for the Giants to beat the Eagles.
And I might even bring one of my little pop-up things.
That would be awesome. Actually, what we should do is get a big piece of cardboard and make a huge sign for you to make sure that the TV broadcast catches you and you get to show it on national television. That'd be cool. All right.
Yeah, that would be cool.
So if I had a choice between
Yeah, if you had a choice.
Eagles, Dallas, Commanders, who do I want to go see? I really hate the Eagles, so I have no interest in seeing them again, if I'm being honest. I really freaking hate them. And I don't want to see Saquon Barkley running up the sideline, scoring a touchdown against us in an Eagles uniform. I do not want to see it. And I do not want to see Azeez Ojulari sacking my quarterback. I do not want to see it. So.
Yeah, that'd be brilliant.
And I can't stand Dallas either, but I think my disdain for the Eagles is more than it is for Dallas at this point.
Yeah.
So I think I will probably see the Washington Commanders. Jaden Daniels is pretty exciting to see play. Don't get me wrong. I can't stand them either, but at least they're tolerable for me. But I really like what Jaden Daniels has done. I like his humility. I like him as a person. I want to win, obviously, beat the brakes off of him. But we've had much more success against Washington than we have against any other team in the NFC East. And I think we have a better chance of beating them only because we've done it so many times. So I'm going to go with Washington.
And I have a question for you.
All right, let's go.
If we could draft a player, like even if another team has them, like free agency, but also from the draft, who would you pick?
So if we had the number 1 overall pick in the 2025 draft, there is no question I'm taking Cam Ward. No question about it. As good as Abdul Carter is, as good as Travis Hunter is, as good as Mason Graham would be operating next to Dexter Lawrence, there is no player other than Cam Ward that I would take in the draft.
See?
And if for some reason Cam Ward falls to 3, I'm not taking anybody but Cam Ward. I don't think that's going to happen. But I will pray, please, 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 God.
Those Titans.
I would pray to every God available. And I'm probably going to do that anyway. I'm going to pray to everybody. Let Cam fall to 3. We want him. And see what happens.
Please.
All right. 3rd down. You've already been to Pittsburgh, Acrisure Stadium, formerly known as Heinz Field, to watch the Giants play there. You've obviously been to Giant Stadium, I don't know how many times.
Probably like 23. I don't know.
If you had a chance to go see another team play, and I'm going to give you a couple of teams to choose from, I'm going to say The New England Patriots, the Kansas City Chiefs, the San Diego Chargers, or the Las Vegas Raiders? Where would you like to go see the Giants play? New England, Kansas City, Las Vegas, or San Diego?
I'm probably going to say the Las Vegas Raiders.
Why would you want to go there?
No clue. I don't want to play any of those teams or go to any of those places. Although Las Vegas, like their landmarks do seem pretty cool. But we're talking about football here. I don't want to play
But
against.
that's a good reason. If your motivation is to go so that you can see what Las Vegas is all about and catch a Giants game, that's a good reason. Is that why
Yeah,
you picked them?
that's why I picked them.
You don't care nothing about the team.
I mean, I hope we win against them if we do, but
Right. That's a good reason. I think that Vegas would probably be where I would want to go to. I didn't go to a game at Gillette Stadium where the New England Patriots play, but we beat them in the Super Bowl a couple of times, so I'm good there. San Diego would be cool because I heard that it's really nice out there and their stadium is really nice. Kansas City, honestly, I don't care nothing about the Kansas City Chiefs. I used to think they were kind of a cool story with, Patrick Mahomes and, Travis Kelsey and Taylor Swift and all of that. But I don't care about them. Actually, I've been to Kansas City and it's a huge football town. So it's kind of cool, the whole environment and how much they love the Chiefs, but I don't care about their team enough to see them. And honestly, Kansas City doesn't have anything going on except for restaurants, shopping, and football. And I don't want to go there. But Las Vegas, oh my God. Las Vegas has so many things to see, so many places to go, so many things to do. They have things for, believe it or not, it's a place where a lot of adults go, and they have a lot of adult like features and activities. But there's also a lot of cool things for kids too.
I
So
heard there's
you
like
could,
a zip line,
oh my God,
right?
yeah. This is, in fact, your mother and I went there, and she zip lined across this huge venue. I don't even remember what it was called, but it was like a promenade, and
They
she zip
have
lined like 120 feet or something.
they
It
have
was
like
actually pretty cool.
a building. I mean, I watched a video on it when you were showing me. It's like I think it's a hotel, but there's water on the inside, and you like ride a boat.
Oh
But
yeah,
then there's like shops, or I don't know if they're just like fake or if there's some real ones. I don't know.
yeah. I think that was the Venetian where they have gondola rides in a river that flows throughout the hotel. They've got a fake Eiffel Tower that looks like the real Eiffel Tower. They have sphinxes. Then they have that
Then
new attraction, which is called the Sphere, which is supposed to be absolutely incredible.
I think it's like in the desert area. They have these like rainbow tower things that stack up.
Yeah. So the whole thing is a desert, actually. Las Vegas is that whole Sin City thing is built in the middle of a desert, which in and of itself is a feat that was pretty impressive. And then the other thing is going to Las Vegas also gives you the opportunity to go to see the Grand Canyon. And your mom and I went there and we had an amazing time. The Grand Canyon is some place that everybody should visit at least once in their lifetime. I can tell you how beautiful it is. I can tell you how majestic the scenery is and how breathtaking the views are, but it will do it no justice unless you go there, see it, experience it, breathe it, live it for yourself. So Vegas is a good choice, Stella.
If you put Los Angeles in there, though, I would say Los Angeles 100%.
Well, that's why I said San Diego Chargers because they share a stadium. It's called SoFi Stadium, and it's in Los Angeles, but the Chargers
Oh,
play there as well, which is supposed to
well,
be pretty nice.
I've always wanted to go to Los Angeles, Hollywood, because I watch a show called Victorious and then Sam and Cat, and there's a school called Hollywood Arts, and if it's a real thing, I would love to go there and just see everything. And I would also love to see the Hollywood sign.
Cool, cool. We'll
So
have to
yeah,
put that on our places to go and visit. We'll
bucket
set that
list.
up. All right. So
Yay.
you got anything else for this show?
I don't think so.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget, like, subscribe.
Smash that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you get notified every time we upload a video. Bye.
That's right, everybody. And don't forget, look for us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, obviously on TikTok, YouTube. And we will see you guys again soon. And hopefully, we get Cam. And if we don't get Cam, we'll take Shador or
Yes.
Travis.
Definitely.
We'll see you guys next time.
Have a good night.
Yeah, a lot of girls probably crying from my old high school. Look, they see me everywhere they go, I probably would too. Look, crossed over to the Jordan men like I'm Michael. Yeah, eating blessings so much I might need lipo. Yeah, tailored for the doves like I'm walking in chucks. Yeah, it's just in this plan, man, I see all y'all shook. Look, knew that I was great ever since I was a rook. Man, all y'all singles making me look good. Okay, praise to the Most High, yeah, that's Jesus. Look, but when it come to this rap thing, I can't lose. Yeah, back-to-back number ones, that's the thing greats do. Yeah, tell them boys that ain't nothing I can't do. It's my year. It's my year.